and welcome to another episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty, and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the lands and airwaves here in Naarm where this conversation takes place. Land which was never ceded. Land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally, and without exhausting resources. I pay my respects to their elders past, present, and rising. Today I'm talking to Adam Mumford from Soult, that's Soult, and it's Soult with Soul, a premium flavoured salt that gives back to the community. 100% of their profits go to mental health charities or foundations that focus on post-suicide support and suicide prevention. In Australia, this is standby and mental wheels and healthy heads in trucks and sheds. We do talk about suicide in this episode, which can be distressing and triggering for some. If you need resources or support, go to beyondblue.org, or for 24-hour free counselling in Australia, the number for Lifeline is 131114. Please look after yourself. Adam was very honest and generous in what he shared with me, and I really appreciate that. And I feel grateful that I'm able to share this very important conversation. Adam's a real foodie, so there's also a lot of talk about how this business came about, where the salt is from, and lots of great ideas for how to use the 4 different flavoured salts on offer: lemon myrtle, chili chocolate, salty sweet, and rosemary and garlic. I pretty much rushed out the door as soon as we finished chatting, because it was a phone conversation, and went down to Australia Post on Bay Street in Port Melbourne, and I bought my own salt, which I'm looking forward to using. We're pretty lucky. Australia Post is a big supporter of this initiative, and you can buy salt at many of the Australian Post outlets. You can also buy it online, but handy to have it pretty much down the road.
Hey, Joe.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
I'm very, very well. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm down in Melbourne. It's a really glorious sunny day, and I think are you in Sydney?
No, I'm up in the north coast actually. I'm
Oh,
up in
are you?
Ballina, and it's a glorious sunny day here too.
Beautiful. That's a nice,
Absolutely.
nice part of
Whereabouts
the
in
world.
Melbourne are you?
And we're in Port Melbourne.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
Love Port Melbourne.
I know. I've just got a little glimpse of the sea from the apartment. It's very nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, I'm kind of very fortunate. I bought this place years and years ago, and I'm sort of I back right onto the bay and the Pacific Ocean. So I'm kind of I feel very blessed every day I wake up.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
I know. It's nice to have that holiday feeling every day. You know, that sort of.
It is indeed.
Look, I'm so happy to talk to you, especially given, yesterday was Are You OK Day, and there's so much talk around mental health and so on these days, and well-being. So I feel really lucky to get to talk to you today.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for the time too.
Yeah.
Look, and I'll let you know, because obviously just as we start, I was diagnosed with head and neck cancer 10 weeks ago, and today is my last day of treatment. I have had 35 radiation days as of today, and I had 7 chemo days over the last 7 weeks. So the doctors just couldn't. When I went in for my final sort of check yesterday, they just couldn't believe that. I'm still talking and eating and everything. They said sort of by week 3 or 4, you're not going to be able to, you'll just have to use your stomach tube to eat and everything. But I got that removed, and I'm still eating 5 meals a day. So, but I suppose I was just very, very thankful for the experience. And every day I've just driven in with that mindset of like absolutely embracing and literally relishing in what I'm actually achieving and where it's going to take me later for Soult and the share days that I have in mind.
Absolutely. My goodness, what a journey you've been on in your family.
Yeah, it has. It's been pretty incredible actually. It's look, obviously my brother my brother took his life in 2018, July 15th. I was with him around about from 6:30 through to 7 o'clock. I was just because I'd be looking after my dog for the weekend. I'd taken the kids away. And when we got home, I went to pick up the dog and just saw that he came in the house, just with some beer and a bottle of wine, and he'd just gone through a little bit of a breakup with his partner, and he'd been sort of having a bit of a hard time at work.
Yeah.
And so I kind of I thought, oh look, I brought the kids home and the dog, and then I just said to my partner, I said, look, I want to go back around and just have a bit of a check on him.
Yes.
So I went back around to his house, and I just realised he'd had 2 beers, and just having a glass of wine. I went, oh no, that's fine. I was more so I wasn't even thinking of what was going to play out.
No.
It was I was more worried about whether he was going to just ring his ex-girlfriend or make a nuisance of himself or something like that. That was all I was considering. And so I was with him for about half an hour, and we just talked, and I said, look, would you like to come around and stay at my place? I've got an apartment downstairs. And I said, why don't you come around to my place, just stay the night, and you can have a couple of drinks if you feel like, or whatever, but just, and he said, no, I won't. Then I left. I gave him a hug. I said, I love you, brother. He said, I love you too, my bro. And then I just drove off and gave a wave, but didn't realise that would be the last time that I would see him alive. So that was, I left him at around about 7 o'clock, and then I got a call at around about 8:45, because my phone number was the last number in his phone, from the police, just asking. Just first off saying they want to come to my place, and I said no. And I said, look, what's going on? I thought, look, has he done something silly, and is he in the lockup or something like that? And no, it wasn't that. I made them tell me and said, no, your brother's passed away. We need you to come around and identify the body. So I went back with a very good friend of mine and a very good friend of Jason's to help me do that. And that was at around about 9:15 that same night. So 2.5 hours after I just, 2.25 hours just after I'd seen him alive for the last time. So that had a very, very big impact on me, obviously.
Of course.
And then obviously the phone call I'd had to make to Mum, and then obviously off to his sons and all of that sort of stuff. So that was pretty. I can tell you what, I was watching The Book Thief at that time. That movie, The Book Thief. I could never watch The Book Thief again.
No.
No. After that, it just that scar. When you have that scarring.
Absolutely. Yes. Oh my goodness, that is that's enormous. Adam, to experience that and to,
And look, around about, I suppose, 6 months before all of this took place, Jason told me that, he'd been having some hassles, with staff at work. He was worked with Lismore City Council, and he was in charge of the Lismore city centre, and he did a fantastic job, created things like Eat the Street, Come to the Heart, all of that. So really, really promoting the area of Lismore, okay? But he said, look, I'd love to just get out. He said, what I really want to do? I just want to set up just a pure chip shop, hot chips, that just sells chips with different flavoured salts.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. And because he was always a culinary, he'd owned cafes in Sydney and things like that in his past. Yes. And he'd always was cooking. He was just a foodie at heart.
Yeah.
And so, when he said that, I kind of laughed. I thought, oh, yeah, okay. But then I thought about it. I went, you know what, mate? Yeah, that's a great idea. You should get into that. Go find a little kiosk down on the beach or something, and that could be a really beautiful life. And he didn't actually get to live that dream. So. That's when I created, first off, it was called chip in with Jace.
Oh, yeah.
So we created a van, and I did it with a friend of mine, an ex-chef, and my partner as well, BG, who was who she'd been very heavily involved in social work.
Yes.
And yeah, we created Chip In with Jace. And we launched it at Eat the Street, which was his festival that he created in 2015 and had been running annually. We launched it in 2019 at Eat the Street, and so we launched it with some flavours that had meaning to him, right? When we couldn't get enough volunteers throughout that year with that van, I ended up selling the van and giving the proceeds back to Standby and to Headspace. Because they were the two foundations that I wanted to support at that time. Standby were fantastic after Jason passed. That's post-suicide support. Yep. Or support after suicide, it's called, actually. And so we did that. And then after I sold the van, but everyone was calling for the salts. They said, we love these salts. So then I created Soult, Soult, yes. Salt with soul. Yeah. That just, I ended up launching that in February. It took me a while because I just wanted to do it all the right way. And we started selling online, and then a lot of the local people up around Lennox Head and Ballina and Lismore got behind it. So we ended up having around about 30 to 50 stockists up here as well. Wow. And everyone was just totally supportive. And then Australia Post in Lennox Head kept on reordering, selling out and reordering. And I went, this is pretty cool. So one of our charities for Soult is Healthy Heads in Trucks and Sheds. And that is it's the ambassador is Lindsay Fox. Okay. So, and the chairperson for it is Paul Graham. Now, Paul Graham is the CEO of Australia Post. So I reached out to the CEO is Naomi for Healthy Heads. I reached out to Naomi and said, is there any chance we could get an introduction to Australia Post? Because I feel Australia Post is probably one of the biggest sellers here at the moment up in Lennox Head. So, and then, she put us in contact with the right people, and Australia Post got behind it. And now Australia Post have got it in 200 of their stores across Australia, their retail outlets.
Wow, that's interesting, because when I looked on the website to see who the stockists were, it did keep coming up with Australia Post. I was thinking, goodness, that's I couldn't quite get my head around it, but that's fascinating.
Yeah, because and look, it's such a beautiful story, because where my brother ended up, his final resting place. Yeah. It used to be my office. So it was my offices, which was sort of like a house / office in Lennox Head, and it was literally behind the Australia Post in Lennox Head. So it kind of, there was just so much meaning in this as well, you know. And yeah, so it's all beautiful, I suppose.
Adam, I was interested in, you're using Murray River salt. Is that?
That's right. Yeah. No, so we're buying salt from Murray River Salt, but it is salt from the Murray River Basin. So we're not saying there's Murray River Salt, because that's their salt. Yes. But we're yes, the salt that we are getting is all sustainable and ethically sourced from the Murray River Basin. Yeah. That's correct. So we wanted to go with this has to be a clean product, because of 100% of our profits go to those mental health foundations, which I don't think I've mentioned yet, which is Healthy Heads in Trucks and Sheds, Mental Wheels, Standby, Support After Suicide, and the Healthy Minds Club that's been very, very supportive of us up here as well in around the Lennox area. Yeah. That's and then so the product had to match what we were doing there in our give back. Yeah. So the packaging had to be recyclable. Everything inside had to be clean. So our herbs and our herbs are all coming from Austral Herbs in in Kentucky South, which is near Armidale, and they're all organic. Everything's organic. Now, they have areas saying certified organic. We're not doing that because we don't want to have go through the certification and put it on our pack, but we just say all of our herbs are organic. So it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And then we get our chocolate from Spencer, which is in Mudgee. And this is chocolate that's coming from Vanuatu, which the owner of the Australian owner of this of Spencer Chocolate in Australia, or Spencer Cocoa, he goes over and he's helped create sustainable farming for them. He buys it, and it's organic as well, but it's on the we just have to say it's organic, but once again certified organic, but we just put the organic tick on it, and it's also, he buys it at above trade rates as well. So all of that is just such a clean story as well. So everything about the product, we wanted to make real, and we wanted to make that everyone knew that we're doing this for the right reasons.
Absolutely. And how did you settle on the 4 flavours that you've got?
They were based on what my brother loved.
Aww.
I'll give you a bit of a. So at the moment, it's like, so for the lemon myrtle salt, for example, that was mine and my brother's growing up around the beaches in northern New South Wales. And so this is in memory of my brother's love of seafood and the beach.
Yeah.
So, we'd do lemon myrtle, like we used to just grab lemon myrtle out, smash it up, dry it, and then throw it on some fresh fish, things like that. And it was just so beautiful. So with our lemon myrtle salt, we're just doing them on, prawn and pineapple skewers, fresh on the barbecue, and they just come out amazing.
Yeah.
The rosemary and garlic, for example, is in memory of my brother's barbecues and Sunday roasts.
Yep.
So I say when I'm cooking with it, I can smell them standing next to me.
Yeah.
Our chili chocolate. My brother loved Mexican. He loved Mexican mole. So this is in memory of my brother's Monday night Mexican mole. And then the last one, he had a sweet tooth second to none. And so we did salty sweet in memory of my brother's sweet tooth. That's where we came up with those 4 original flavours.
Oh, I love that. And I'm looking at your recipes on the website, and the photography is so good. It makes me just want to make the chocolate pavlova with the chili chocolate salt, and and looking at the damper. I actually had a chat to Ranger Nick, who I see uses your salt as well.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes, he's awesome, Ranger. I met Ranger Nick a couple of times. We're actually going to do a bit of a cook-up. We kind of missed each other. Then he started doing some road shows, and we're going to do a bit of a cook-up together at some stage as well. Yeah. He's such an awesome guy, and I love Ranger Nick's products as well. They're just absolutely beautiful. And once again, he is just so down to earth.
Yes.
It just makes for a really, really nice, credible little partnership with Ranger Nick too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can totally see, these, it's making my mouth water. Like, they just sound so delicious, the Mediterranean lamb and with the salt and
and the one that really shocks everyone. I've done it a few times now. Is the cauliflower with chili chocolate salt. It's you just oil the cauliflower, cut into cauliflower steaks, and then oil it, sprinkle the salt, and then throw it straight on the barbecue. And as soon as it softens, you take it off, smash it up, throw it into tacos or whatever. Or just, I normally do tacos with a bit of pico de gallo, but you can just have it straight by itself. The kids absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So there's different ways of getting veggies into your kids too.
Yeah, absolutely. And cauliflower is one of those ones that if you grew up sort of around my age, everything was boiled, and cauliflower was a horror. But now it's just coming into its own, isn't it? It's very
that is so true, Joe. So true. Yeah, and that's like with me growing up, I'm 53 now, and it's like you mum, basically boiled the broccoli and cauliflower to a pretty much melting stage. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's right.
She's going to hate me saying that, by the way.
No, my mum too. That's right. Yeah, we won't tell them.
No, don't tell them. Don't tell them. Yeah.
Amazing. And in terms of, for example, if I would like to get some in Melbourne, do I order online? Is that the best way?
Yeah, you can order online or just go and check out. If you've got your you put in your post office,
Yes.
your
Postcode.
postcode,
Yeah.
and then just you may have because Melbourne's got a lot of Australia Post offices that are around there that actually have the product.
Okay.
And so you can either order online, or you can go and buy it direct from Australia Post. So they're in store, everywhere in store, they're $12.
Yes.
Online, it's $14.
Yeah.
Now, as far as our price point is concerned, in comparison to a lot of the other salts out there, we're under. We're sort of all those other salts, all those flavoured salts or gourmet salts that don't have that 100% give back, they're sitting around that between that $12 and $15 mark. So we've come in at the place that we wanted to come in, that we can still have enough profit to give back, and to make it affordable for people. So in store $12, online $14, because obviously we have to pay for postage.
Amazing. And I see there's one just literally down the road from me in Port Melbourne on Bay Street, so I know what I'm doing after this phone conversation.
Oh, that's fantastic, Joe.
I'm going to make, and I want to make all the recipes on your website. They look so delicious.
That's so cool. And the other thing with these as well is, like, look, this was the start. Soult was the start of the movement because, as I say, online as well. We are going to make a difference in someone's life, and that's as simple as that. That's the reason why we are here. What we've been through, what my family have been through, and I've created this legacy for our families, but also for other people, other families that have lost loved ones. And this isn't such a rare event anymore. There's a lot of people, of people taking their lives daily. We're up to around about that 9 mark in Australia every day.
Yeah.
So this is the time to actually let's really, really look at it, look at ways that we can do it. And Soult was created because it was about sitting down and sharing. Now, sometimes people share the most, share laughter, share tears, share pain, share anything over food. So that Soult was created so we could share, get people to share, to open up and talk. So what I've sort of coined, table it, and so that's our mantra we live by, is just please sit down and enjoy a meal with someone throughout the week, whether it be your family, friends, and actually talk, share feelings, get things out there. The more that we can do that, the more that people can open up and start saying it. And through having food that can help make this a bit of an easier transaction,
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so
that's incredible, Adam. You're doing such a great job, and especially still thinking of, you're so outward looking when you've got a lot of things going on for yourself as well. So thank you so much for being so open and for sharing so much with me as well.
Yeah, no, Joe. I've got to lead by example. Look, and I'll share with you one more thing. I've done, obviously mental health first aid. I've done 2 mental health first aid courses now, and I'm going to be doing the Lifeline Assist and all of those other ones. But just before I was booked in to do that, just as I got diagnosed. But all of those will come. I said, I wish I had those tools that I have now. On the 15th of July 2018. So don't dismiss those tools. Actually can help make a difference. But the tools that I had in my artillery at the time, it's that I did the best that I could do for that. So I'm at peace with all of that. I was I did carry that for a little while.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm at peace now. So to say anyone wanting to think about this, I'm going to start doing some, really, really nice table it and share days as well for people. And for businesses around Australia, and they're the important ones to sort of look out for and go, yep, okay. If I have this in front of me, considering at the moment 1 in 5 people in workplaces are affected with mental health, 3 in 5 in between year 10 and 12 are affected with mental health at school. And in Indigenous communities, 3 in 5 are affected by mental health. So it's a big thing.
Yes.
It's in Australia and it's still going. But Jo, thank you so much for taking the time and letting us and having me on your podcast.
Oh, an absolute pleasure and an honour as well. I've just it's been really great to talk to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jo.
All the best. Enjoy that lovely weather.
Let me know. Share with me what you end up cooking with the Soult.
I will. I absolutely will.
Awesome, and I'll get it up on our socials.
Okay, great.
Awesome,
Thanks,
Jo.
Adam. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Adam Mumford from Soult. You can check out all the goodness on Instagram at Soult with Soul. That's SOULT with SOUL. The Soult website is also great because it has recipes for using the Soult products and some glorious photos of the dishes. That's on www.soult.com.au. If you liked what you heard and you want to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. You can read the chat and become a subscriber at www.conversationwithachef.com. And it's good if you do become a subscriber because I feel like there's actually people reading the stories. And also, you get to find out as soon as the story is published. I would absolutely love it if you told a friend about my chats. And of course, you can also follow me on Apple and Spotify and Audible and even Amazon podcasts. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appetit.